So make sure you're in the middle, go to the knee bottom, please. So things that happen when you go for this, okay? So the first kind of scenario, or kind of best case scenario, if you go knee inside. Yeah.
Deep.
So lots of the time, when you start developing this and start getting success with it, you would look to time the knee bomb into the stinger as like one smooth movement. So when Johan gets his knee out, he would look to go straight into the stinger. Okay? And lots of time you will catch people like slipping, napping, and this foot will come out and you'll get the split. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so whenever I go to it, I'll often whip into it to get the legs separated. Okay, now if they do catch, there's a couple of things. Okay, so let's go for the situation where the knee doesn't go down at all. So Isaac, use this to try and stop Johan from opening you out. Okay, so you can see that the only way Isaac can really stop this leg from dragging the top leg open is by putting his foot flat on the floor and creating counter pressure at the end of the lever. Okay, now what this does, this essentially puts Isaac into the foot wedge position. Okay, so when you're going to go for the stinger, okay, and you feel your partner doesn't move at all, you can pretty much bet that they're using their knee in a high position to stop the stinger from happening, and then you would look to switch to the foot wedge. So you'd click, because this position makes it actually easy to catch the foot wedge. So you saw how easy Johan got his foot in there, and then you would kick that the trapped leg to the hamstring like we did, and you'd be able to free. Okay, so that's the first scenario. Second scenario would be he does manage to turn Isaac over, but Isaac's got his legs trapped, but his foot isn't fully locked in. It's like more on his toes. Okay, so in that scenario, what Johan will do is exactly the same thing as he did before. He'd look to take his foot and try and find his own knee. Yes, try and find your own knee. And what you'll do is you'll feel the top leg there. If he feels the top leg there, he'll still put his foot in, but he'll X the top leg. So X his foot here. So put your foot inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll X his leg. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, so create an X there. X this bottom leg. There we go. So with this foot creating an X now, we can now lift the top leg. So lift with both legs. Yeah, so you can basically break that connection. Okay, so and then you can peel it open and you can go back to the stinger. Yeah, you can go back to doing that step. Okay, so I'm getting you to do techniques that you haven't done before by talking through them. Okay, but you can see that. Okay, so let's do it one more time. He goes to open the leg. Isaac's toes are in there, so he can find his own knee and feel the top leg. There you go, he nailed it. Yeah, so we can either go back to level 1, which is just split the legs, or what he nearly did then and just circle his foot out. Okay, so again, we haven't done this before, so it's on the fly. So he goes to stinger, he goes in, feels. He can lift this top leg, and now we can pummel this leg out, and then we'll do that in more detail, but you can see that's an option. Okay, I'm just going to just cover up the different things that can happen. The third thing, we did this yesterday, so it should help, is Isaac has this tight and this low. Okay, so like if he goes to find his own knee, he won't be able to find it effectively, and it's going to be difficult for him to clear this leg because Isaac's got everything locked off. Okay. From this, if the legs are locked tight like this, you can pretty much guarantee that this bottom leg is going to be bent, and you can catch it with your free leg. We'll do another angle in a sec. So he's caught that with his other foot, and now he's trapped Isaac's leg. So what people do sometimes is they feel the trap, and they release this, trying to undo the trap of their leg. Yeah, so like you'll release this, and you'll basically fall into level 1 again. Okay, so that's one thing that does happen. Yeah, I'm like this, and you trap my leg, and I'm like, I don't like that, I'll free it, and then you get sucked. Well, I'll do another angle instead. You get sucked into opening the legs. If Isaac doesn't fall into that trap, this leg trap that Johan's doing, he can now circle his foot inside, and he can start to like either go back to the foot wedge or start to worm his heel out, yeah? Because you've taken it inside the hook. Okay, so let's do a different angle. Legs facing the camera. Yeah. So do the tight one again. Yeah, so am I still in? Are they still in? Yeah. So look, this is here. So Johan goes to catch it. Do the trap of this leg and the pummel. Yes. See, look, he's forcing the position now. You feel it when you drill it. It just traps everything. Yeah. So now Isaac either doesn't like that and he does this for Johan, which does happen, or Johan uses the trap to pummel his other leg. Yeah, here, and now he can start to worm his leg out unopposed. Yeah, or we can foot wedge. Okay, the third thing that you can do from the fully trapped leg is pummel as if you want to go to the foot wedge. Yeah, so you can do it. Yeah, so you can either look to push the heel, so you don't do the heel push. So use this leg to push Isaac's bent leg. So right, yeah, there. He's bent man. Find his bent one there. So you can do that to help pummel your leg. So pummel that in, and then once you find your toes on the hamstring, you can then knee cut. Yeah, so you can like lift your knee up, and you can knee cut over to the other side. Okay, so those are all the options which will happen. In reality, you use the stinger and the foot wedge and any of these other things all together. Yeah, you just have a deep understanding of where your foot is and what thing you need to do to progress. Does that help? Hopefully. So pressure test with like low resistance first to try and figure out some of these. Maybe go to the thing that's getting stuck the most, and then we'll pressure test, and then we'll go into them separately in more detail like as the weeks go by. Yeah? There you go.